Hello, my movie peeps. I just got done watching the latest Hocus Pocus sequel, and in this sequel to Hocus Pocus, we follow the Sanderson sisters being resurrected once again in our modern age. A group of teenage girls responsible will now have to figure out how to put a stop to them once and for all. And that's all pretty much say without giving any spoilers to you guys. This will be a spoiler-free review. Now, when it comes to the original Hocus Pocus, I was never really that big of a fan of it. I don't think the movie is bad or anything like that. I saw it a few times and I liked it, but it was just never a film I added to my rotation of Halloween movies. When it comes to family-friendly horror films, I was always more of a Halloween Town kid or Casper, and I just never really got the appeal of Hocus Pocus because every year they just seem to get bigger and bigger. When I go to my local Halloween shop, you can bet there's always Hocus Pocus merch. The movie is playing a dozen times throughout October, and even these Funko Pops I got here, I was forced to buy thanks to my lady because she's a fan of the movie. So I really wasn't that pumped for the sequel, but I thought it was nice that Disney was willing to do that for the fans and put it on Disney Plus. And having watched the movie, my reaction to it is, this feels more like a Disney Channel original movie than a Disney Plus movie. If you're someone like me who just also wasn't very fond of Hocus Pocus or didn't understand the appeal of it, this isn't going to be the movie to change your mind and make you go, oh, I get it, this is awesome, let me put it on my list now for every year. This movie I think for sure is going to appeal a lot more to the fans that just love that movie, watch it every year, and have fun with the Sanderson sisters just for their relationship, because you know what? That was actually the best part of this movie. I was watching this movie and kind of just dreading the experience, not getting all that invested into the brand new teenage characters they threw in here. Nothing's wrong with their acting, except for this one like jock character that is just acting like a complete buffoon, but it comes off more like a caricature of a Disney Channel show than an actual movie. Like for the first 10-15 minutes of the movie, it was one of those experiences where I was trying to force myself not to grab my phone and start scrolling online as I was watching the movie. I don't want to do that when watching a film I know I'm going to review, but that's the kind of urge I was having in here, and it didn't all turn around for me until the actual Sanders sisters showed up. Then I was actually kind of having a blast, because coming from someone who isn't that big of a Hocus Pocus fan, this time around I understood the appeal of the sisters. Their relationship and banter they go off of each other is pretty funny. There were several moments in here where I caught myself like actually laughing out loud to the things the sisters were doing in our modern age. There's a couple of nice gags they play on from the first movie that carry on over here, and I think that'll be the only thing longtime fans care about the movies, is just spending some time with these sisters, seeing them go on a wacky adventure, do a musical number or two before the movie's just over. If that's all you really wanted to see is just the Sanderson sisters be the Sanderson sisters, it's gonna deliver on that front. But when it focuses on the actual story at hand and what they have to do throughout this movie and like the little bit of backstory they give to the sisters, it just wasn't that appealing. Same thing goes for the attempted buildup of the newer young cast. I found the first movie's cast to be a lot more interesting protagonists, where I felt like these ones were just kind of going more through the motion. I did think it was kind of clever how they tried tying it back to the first movie, and they could have done something really interesting there, but it's also just kind of brushed aside as an excuse to tie this film to the first one. I'll also say the musical numbers in here are not as strong as in the first movie. I think there's only 2 in total. One of them is actually alright and catchy, and then the other ones in here just feel kind of forced on into the movie, don't really fit in smoothly. But another big positive I will give this movie is towards the finale, they do have a somewhat emotional moment that I actually was kind of resonating with, and I thought, oh, that's actually kind of sweet. But when it comes down to it, it's just forgettable. It's trying to retread some of the magical moments of that first movie, have some callbacks in there, but overall, you're really just there for the Sanderson sisters, and like I said, that part is the best part of this movie. It's what actually made it watchable for me, not want to have the urge to just be on my phone. So I think a lot of hardcore fans of Hocus Pocus and just wanting to see those sisters interact are gonna have a great time. To everyone else, we just gotta wait till they start making the reboot or the remake of Halloween Town, man. I'm waiting, Disney. Get on it for next Halloween. So for Hocus Pocus 2, I'm going to give action 2.5 stars. There's hijinks here and there and some nice little gags with the specific brooms they get, but there's not a whole lot of action going on throughout this movie. Comedy in the film, I'm going to give it 3 stars. I was chuckling quite a bit with the interactions of the Sanderson sisters. Their jokes and their banters actually got to me. Everybody else's humor, not so much. Maybe a little bit in here from the mayor character played by Tony Hale, but everything outside of the Sanderson sisters, I didn't find that funny. Drama in the movie, I'm gonna give it 2 stars. I think the plot in here is just not that interesting, not that invested. It's really just an excuse so you can set up different situations for the Sanderson sisters to get on so they can be here for a musical number, go into Walgreens and do this thing, then go to this place and do that thing. They try adding some lore and backstory to the actual narrative in here, but I just don't think it works out. Horror in the film, I'll give half a star. star too. This is like a family-friendly horror movie. There's nothing really in here that'll terrify you. The Sanderson sisters are just straight up jokey beans, so even their threats to eat children will not get anybody. And suspense movie, I'm gonna give it 1 star. This, again, it's a family-friendly setting. It's playing a lot on the retropes of the first movie. You can pretty much guess every plot point a mile away as the movie unfolds. Casual fans, I'm gonna give it a B-. Cinephiles, I'm gonna give it a C-. And critically, I'm going to give it a C-. If Hocus Pocus 2 was the movie that was currently playing in theaters, it'd be a film I recommend you rent.
That'll do, donkey. That'll do.
Basically saying, since it's on streaming, it's not a priority watch. October is barely beginning. You have the entire month to check out that movie whenever. You're not really gonna miss a lot if you decide not to watch it right away. If anything, it's the kind of movie I suggest you put on as you're carving a pumpkin or doing something else spooky around the house. Again, that's just my opinion on Hocus Pocus. I really don't want to offend anybody because I know there's people who absolutely love these films. And like I said, the sisters themselves are great in this movie. Everything else could use some work. Let me know what you guys think if you're gonna watch Hocus Pocus once it hits Disney Plus. What other classic Disney favorite would you want them be remade? Like I said, Halloween Town, man. I need that film again. Anything, everything, be sure and like, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.